I'm on a box.
Media Mike is a technical writer for an online retail company. He is not a college graduate, nor is he an expert in anything, and any remarks, advice, or assertions should be treated as such. If you have a problem with the content of this video, that's on you, pal.
Recently I was in a forum where people were discussing the quality of modern art, when I found myself in, of all things, a theological argument. Now, because people only want points for the things that they believe and not what they actually know, I decided to throw this video together to explain some of the terminology. Now, before we begin, I do not claim to be the originator of the analogy used in this video. I believe that it was either Jeff Dee or Russell Glasser from the Atheist Experience that I first heard it from, so I'm probably not going to do it too much justice.
Let's begin!
Gnosticism and agnosticism, when used in relation to religion, refers to knowledge. Gnostics know that there is a God because they've seen proof,
And that proof is usually the worst kind of standard.
or talked to a God, while agnostic people do not claim to know because they lack that experience. Theism and atheism, on the other hand, refer to belief. Theists believe there is a God, atheists do not. Now for clarity, you can, and most people frequently do, believe something without knowing it. For example, I tell you that I have 3 dimes in my pocket. That's not an outrageous claim, so if you trust me, then you can say that you're theistic about the number of dimes in my pocket. Now, if you look in my pocket and see that I do in fact have 3 dimes in there, you can claim knowledge about the change in my pocket.
3 dimes.
Now you are a Gnostic theist in regards to my pocket change. But if you believe
Theism.
that I have 3 dimes in my pocket, and you look in my pocket and discover that I have 3 pennies instead, ooh, shiny, and you still believe I have 3 dimes in my pocket, congratulations, you're still a Gnostic theist.
And an idiot.
If, on the other hand, you believe
Theism.
that I have 3 dimes in my pocket and don't bother to look, you're an agnostic theist.
Because you don't know.
If you believe there are 3 dimes in my pocket,
Theism.
and look and see and find that in fact I have no dimes in my pocket, and you change your belief,
Atheism.
congratulations, you are a Gnostic atheist.
And an uber-rational person who has mastered space-time in regards to pocket change.
If you don't believe that I have 3 dimes in my pocket, and you look and see that in fact I do have 3 dimes in my pocket, and you still don't believe,
Atheism.
you are a Gnostic atheist.
And an idiot.
If you don't believe that I have 3 dimes in my pocket,
Atheism.
and you don't know how to,
Or care to.
check for change, then you are an agnostic atheist. Now, it might surprise some to learn that I consider myself this last one, this agnostic atheist, because honestly, I don't know whether there's a God or not. But I don't believe there is because I have not seen any proof of it. And here's the thing about proof. It's entirely subjective. People can be faced with objective evidence of something and still completely ignore it. People can be mistaken about the type of evidence that they're looking at. This is just the nature of reality in the human brain. Now, I see people misusing the term atheism all the time. They consider agnostics and atheists to be 2 completely different things. This is, in fact, not the case. You can be an agnostic and an atheist. You can be a Gnostic theist, or you can be a Gnostic atheist. One claims knowledge, the other claims belief, and there is a difference between the 2. Now, knowledge can be wrong, but belief can't really be wrong. I mean, it can be based on wrong things, it can be based on a lack of evidence, but belief itself is not a wrong thing. It's when you believe things with no real reason to believe them, and if you don't examine your beliefs and re-examine them over and over again, that you start to get lost in dogmatic exceptionalism. And that's really where religion falls apart for me. So, this is Media Mike, signing off.